Ladies and gentlemen, federal employees, retirement planning 1.0 is making sure that, yes, you are going to be okay when you retire. However, retirement planning 2.0 is making sure, yes, you're okay, but what about your spouse? If something happened to you, are they okay? What about your kids? Are the people you care about going to be taken care of? Because we've all heard the horror stories where the one spouse passed away that maybe knew all the money stuff, leaving a spouse behind that had no clue what was going on, didn't know what was there, and just left an absolute mess. Not because they were trying to, just because they didn't think about it. They thought, hey, I've got time. And then at some point, for all of us, it becomes too late at some point. So today we're going to talk about how can you make sure that you don't leave a mess? What things can you do so that your spouse or kids, your loved ones, whoever you care about, understand what's going on, you understand what's going on, to make sure they're going to be taken care of. So there's really two sides of this. And there is the money side, saying, hey, what income is going to be left if you do pass? And then there's the protection side, the insurance side, which we'll talk about both. Number one, if you passed away, what income sticks around? That is critical to understand, because I've seen tons of situations where, yes, on paper, they can afford to retire. However, if I've ever ran the numbers, hey, what if you pass away, the higher earner passes away, normally the federal employee passes away, what sticks around for the spouse? And we look at those numbers, sometimes it's devastating. There's just almost nothing left. And let me explain that. So for example, your pension. When you fill out the retirement application, you choose how much to leave of your pension. The most you can leave is 50% of your pension to a spouse. You can also leave nothing. It depends what you feel you guys need. What about TSP? Your entire TSP can get left to your spouse if you name them 100% beneficiary. Social Security. How Social Security normally works for most couples is whichever Social Security benefit sticks around, or let me back up, whichever Social Security benefit is bigger sticks around. The other one drops off. For example, let's say spouse one has benefit of $3,000. Spouse two has a benefit of $1,500. Even if spouse one dies, their benefit sticks around, and the lower earner benefit drops off, and the higher benefit number sticks around and passes to the survivor. So basically, a piece of your pension will stick around, you can pass your entire TSP back, and only the bigger of the two Social Securities will stick around. So if you look at those numbers, and your spouse looks at those numbers of what's going to be left, is it enough? Is it enough? Now, some people say, well, look, I'll pass away, so there's only one person instead of two. They'll need way less income to be comfortable, and you want to be careful with that. In my experience, sometimes that's not really the case. You still got to own a home. A lot of the expenses don't really change when one person passes. Maybe a little bit less in food, maybe. It depends. So you want to be very careful that you're both comfortable with what income sticks around, and make sure you guys are going to be okay. Next, what about insurance? If you leave a survivor benefit on your pension, which means if you leave a piece of your pension so your spouse can inherit that, then they can keep a piece of your health insurance. If you're this federal employee spouse, if you're both feds, maybe you're both eligible for FEHB, so that's not a factor. You both have it. But if you don't leave a survivor benefit of your pension, if you don't leave a piece of your pension behind, then your health insurance just goes away. And is that okay, right? You have to answer those questions. Also, do you have estate documents? Do you have a will? Do you have a power of attorney? Do you have medical direction? Do you have these key documents that say, hey, if I pass, this is what happens. This is where things are. This is how it works. Do you have those in place? And I'm not going to go into in-depth on this. I would, generally speaking, go talk to a local attorney. There's some online companies like LegalZoom.com or TrustandWill.com that can help with these things if your situation is simple, to get you the right estate documents. And I talk to a lot of people. Everyone knows that they need this stuff. It's just people don't do it. They just put it off. I say, look, I'll handle that later. I'm too young to worry about. No, please. I'm a young guy. I've got these things in place. It's not about thinking I'm going to die or being morbid. It's about just saying, look, we don't know what's going to happen. I want to make sure things are squared away. I don't want to leave a mess. That's what it's about. And on that note, make sure your beneficiaries are updated. Now, there's some assets like TSP, like life insurance, like IRAs that have beneficiaries on them, where if you pass away, it'll go to the beneficiary. Whoever is listed as the beneficiary, that's where it's going to go. You want to make sure you keep these updated at all times. If you have a life change, divorce, marriage, kids born, whatever, make sure you keep an eye on these things, because these will take precedent. These beneficiaries will trump your estate documents every time. Doesn't matter what your trust says or will says, your beneficiaries win every time. So make sure these things are taken care of and you're not leaving a mess. So in a nutshell, make sure there's enough money left behind if something happens to you and you've got the right things in place, whether it be insurance, whether it be estate documents, if your beneficiaries are updated so that you understand and they understand what's going on. And honestly, one of the most important aspects of this is make sure the spouse knows what you have. If only one of you is the financial spouse and you kind of handle everything, if they don't know to go, if they don't know to talk to bank XYZ because you have an account there, if they don't know it exists, they're not going to go look and they'll probably just never get that money, right? You both have to understand, where is everything at? Where are all the accounts? What about passwords? Can they get access to stuff? If you don't have these sort of things organized and in place, it is so difficult when people pass away and leave a mess. So hopefully this is enough motivation to get going. Whatever of these pieces you don't have already, please get in place so that you have everything you need for you to be taken care of and your spouse to be taken care of. Hope that's helpful. I'll see you guys in the next video.